So I was bored today, and I was like, I'll go see the movie. And then I showed up super early, so I played at the arcade for a while, and I felt weird.
Oh
But
shit!
I almost won a really big prize. I was 5 points off.
Nice. Like, was it like a big arcade, or was it just like the little 5 machines?
It was the machine at the movie theater, or the games at the movie theater.
Nice. Did they have the Star Wars trilogy?
No, but you do have static on your end.
Fuck. Hold on.
So yeah, I was 5 points away from winning,
Yeah.
like the big prize.
Nice. What was the big prize?
I could have won a $100 gift card to Xbox,
Mm-hmm.
or I could have won like a Polaroid camera.
There was one I remember as a kid in Canada that had Final Fantasy 1 and 2 Dawn of Souls on GBA. It was the Stack'em one.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, if I could get that, that'd be so tight. But now I can just play that game whenever I want.
This one was you like push this lever down, and it's kind of like Wheel of Fortune, and you get a number of points, and it adds up. And if you get X amount of points, you can win one of these prizes, or you can continue and try to get the next tier. And I was 5 points away.
Oh man. Fuck.
Could have won, but because I lost on that roll, I didn't win anything at all.
Did they have House of the Dead 2 at the arcade?
They did not.
I feel like that was like in every arcade ever
Yeah.
for like a long time. Did you ever play the game Carnival?
No, I did not.
It was like House of the Dead, but it's like at a carnival. They're all zombies, but they're clowns. It's crazy.
Speaking of clowns,
Oh fuck!
I saw
Emergency Joker update.
Emergency Joker podcast live stream.
Da, 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 da.
Was that the song?
Yeah, run the Joker update.
Oh, that song.
The Batman theme.
I was thinking from the movie, and I was like, I remember that. Yeah, I saw it. Like I knew a few things that were spoilerish ahead of time before it even got released, which was really weird.
Wait, what was spoiled?
Well, but this is before the movie came out. They were like, "Yeah, he's Thomas Wayne's illegitimate son," and I was like,
Wow.
Why would you say this? It's not out for like another month.
That is the shittiest thing to say. That's as bad as like that one Kotaku article right before Arkham City came out. That was like, should the Joker die at the end of Arkham City? Or like, does he die at the end of Arkham City? Find out in this article. And it's like, why did you even ask that question?
But now that movie's out, I saw a couple screens where he shot Robert De Niro. And I saw someone point out like all these clocks in the movie, and they're all the same time. It's like, oh, it's all in his head. And so I'm watching it, and I'm like, no, these clocks kind of make sense. That is what time it is. Yeah. But then there's other times I'm like, oh, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. I think there's that one scene where it is in his head.
Yeah, which when he first like kissed her, I was like, oh, maybe I don't think this is real. But then it started like playing it as if it was, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess this happened." And I was wondering, maybe she has to die at the end, though. That this is the only way he can like become him. But no, it just never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Is Joker a good movie?
I was thinking about on the way home. I liked it. I think I really like the colors that were used. Some of the music cues kind of like put me off. I was like, oh, you know what? I would have just done no music at this scene. In fact, if I had it my way, I would never have music in any of my movies.
I love music.
There's times I felt like, oh, this you should have just not done it here.
Probably.
And then there was times that it fit. Overall, yeah, it's not a bad movie. I expected it to be a lot more controversial, but I was like, oh, it's just a sick man.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the controversy leading up to it was all just like hyping the movie up. Like,
well, I think it's also coming from when Dark Knight came out and that incident happened.
Like, I think that you can't have the Joker in anything without the media, like, trying to, like, overhype things now. Everything involving the Joker gets overhyped.
I
It's not even, like,
single-handedly
about the movies themselves. It's just, like, if there's a live-action Joker, people go crazy.
I single-handedly saved the movie though, just so you know.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So you know how they have like those pre-rolls before the movie even starts?
Yeah.
Those were going, but there was only audio, and I was like, "Oh, that's weird. Maybe this is the only audio portion or something."
Oh, fuck! It
was getting to that time, and I went, "Hey, the sound's on. Where's the picture?" And they're like, "I'll get a manager."
Holy
I
shit!
saved the movie. I'm a fucking hero.
You were the fucking theater Batman. You saved the movie.
I saved Joker.
You saved the Joker. You didn't let him fall. You pulled him back up.
I pulled him back up.
Just like comic book Batman.
Well, I was gonna say just like in the end of Dark Knight.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then
he didn't fall into a vat of acid in this movie because you pulled him up.
Well, he did take a lot of chemical.
Well, that's just pills. Actually, once he stops taking the pills, that's when he starts becoming a criminal mastermind.
I wouldn't say mastermind. I would say he just fucking shot a guy.
He shot a guy, but he also did that switcheroo on the train station.
What are you talking about?
When the cops were chasing him. And he went
on the train station.
Yeah.
That when they showed that train station, I remember hearing during production, it's like those people were stuck on the train for hours and they weren't allowed bathroom breaks. I'm like, this scene was all of like 3 minutes. How come it took them so long to shoot?
Well, you have to get a lot of people all in one location and like...
Yeah, stand here, action.
There's a lot of like takes that probably have to go into it, and like you have to shut down a train for a whole like day. Just because like if the trains are going normally, like then you're gonna have to... It's like when you were trying to do that one thing with the poster, but like it's like, how are you gonna catch the train every single time?
Oh yeah.
So
I wonder if I should even finish Veronica.
Probably.
I've been working on that for a number of years though.
Yeah. You gotta finish it so that I can be inspired to finally finish Bitch.
You have to help me finish Veronica then.
I'm no good at writing.
Well, you're better than I am. You're the one who gets me going.
Oh. Well, back to Joker.
Yeah, I like the color palette. It reminded me that they had some promo images way back when, and I saved them somewhere because I wanted to use those colors for when I do some color grading for some photos. Because then I can make it look like that. I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, dude.
I only seen a little bit of Taxi Driver a number of years ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that movie. I thought it was slow, but remember, this is at a time when I didn't understand anything about film or storytelling or anything. I just play Halo all day.
Yeah.
So, but there was some, since I knew that this, I don't know if that's true. But I read somewhere it was like, it took cues from Taxi Driver. And there were some scenes I'm like, you know what? I kind of can see a parallel here.
Yeah. Like, I think in general it was trying to be like the kind of like 70s Martin Scorsese movies like Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, and King of Comedy. I think it was taken from all three of those.
I never saw those last two.
So, I think I think all three movies starred Robert De Niro.
Mm-hmm.
So like they also got him in King of Comedy. Robert De Niro is like this comedian who's trying to get on this talk show and like, but he's like crazy.
So really, I just saw a movie that came out a number of years ago.
Yeah, so you just watched the modern King of Comedy comic book edition.
I saw the new 30th anniversary remake of King of Comedy.
Yeah, basically, this is the. And hey, Robert De Niro's back, but now he's the talk show host.
And dead. That ending. Okay, so after the riots, was that real that he stood up on the car? And I'm assuming he just got arrested afterwards?
Yeah. All right, so here's my thoughts. This is the
But then I have another question.
Okay.
At the beginning, they were like, "Do you know why you have to come to these meetings?" And they did a quick cut of him like hitting his head against the wall in the clinic or the asylum. But then it like at the end, he's like back in that room. So I don't know if he was put back in there or if he ever left.
So here's my thought. I don't know the official answer.
Okay.
Here's my answer.
Okay.
Anything that always all takes place in your head, anything, I will disregard that explanation unless it is 100% fully in front of me and has a purpose, because that is such weak shit.
I think maybe so we can come to a decision on that. We should just, because there's that expression of having an unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
And I remember I asked a teacher once, I'm like, well, is there ever a case of a reliable narrator? And they're like, oh shit, this kid's next level. Let's kick him out of school.
Okay. So that's how you left college.
That's why I stopped going to college. They kicked me out. They're like, don't you fucking outshine me again.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, like, remember I made that film and then they only gave me a B because they're afraid of my big ideas?
Oh, shit.
No. I identify so much with Kanye.
They couldn't handle Silent Hill 2 soundtrack.
Yeah. I don't know, it's frustrating. College is a scam.
Yeah.
So, I think maybe this is a good case of an unreliable narrator. Because we only ever follow him. Now that I think about it, he's in every scene. He's never not.
That's
like, yeah, the camera might not always be on him, but it's never taken away from him.
It's possible.
So I think maybe some things, if we put aside the argument of like, hey, this all happened in his head, it's like, well, some things did and some things didn't.
Yeah.
And it's also, but it's not obvious what is true.
Yeah, like
there's some cases that we know that like, hey, this didn't actually happen. But I think maybe, I don't know what they would be, but there are some things that didn't happen.
Yeah. I'm just like always against the idea of like everything in the movie was all in his head.
Yeah, kind of like Shutter Island or something.
I never seen that. Spoilers.
They spoiled the whole fucking movie for you. It may not have happened. We don't know.
But anyway, yeah. Like, even if that is the official explanation, I'm going to disregard it. But, I liked... it's like everything kind of crazy happening in this movie. I feel like the weirdest stuff in it is the stuff that made it feel more like a Batman story. So, like, I wouldn't want it all to be fake. Because then it's like, then this isn't a Batman movie anymore. This is just some guy pretending he's the Joker.
I was also going to point out, a lot of times I forgot, it's kind of like how I felt with Logan. I forgot that this was a comic book movie. I just thought like, oh wow, this is a crazy drama.
Wait, what's Gilligan?
Gilligan?
I misheard what you just said. Like,
oh, it's like how I felt with Logan. Like with Logan,
Logan.
I forgot that was an X-Men movie the whole time. I'm like, this is a crazy drama, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's X-Men.
Yeah. With Logan, I was kind of like, I've always, from my knowledge of X-Men, the drama stuff is kind of like always the main point. So with Logan, I felt like, oh, finally an X-Men movie that really feels like X-Men.
Oh.
Because like a lot of Wolverine stuff that now that I've been recently reading all the comics, like a lot of the Wolverine stuff when he's on his own is kind of like how Logan was.
Yeah, Thomas Wayne is a dick.
So this is very complex thinking about it. He appears to be a dick. And the way he kind of strikes back at Arthur at the beginning when they're in the bathroom. Yeah, he is kind of a dick. But under the context, the reality of the situation is he's not actually Arthur's father.
That is true, but it doesn't mean I gotta punch that guy in the face.
That's number one. Number two, from his perspective, this crazy fucking guy walked up to his house and started touching his son.
Yes.
So, yeah.
But now we know the truth that he is some adopted kid.
Yeah.
So
I'm a little confused, like how the whole Joker thing worked. Like, so he's an adopted kid.
Yeah.
And his mother was
off the deep end.
Was in a relationship with somebody who abused him.
Okay, so yes, that is true. She adopted him, and then she got a boyfriend who was like super abusive towards the two of them. Yeah. But she is in such self-denial about a lot of bullshit.
So how did he go back into custody with her?
I do not have an answer for that. Maybe.
Or did society fail so hard that they just let it go?
Well, it must have, because it happened in like 1950 something. Because I understand this takes place in the 80s.
Yeah.
And so I think he's supposed to be 30, even though I know the actor's like much older than that.
Yeah. He is like a very like hard 30. But it's also kind of weird because he's like with the movie, he's 20 years older than Batman.
Yeah, which is very interesting. Because I remember in The Dark Knight Returns, I think the Joker and Batman have like 1 year between them.
And I guess this movie, in a way, like visually, and I kind of like in that same way, kind of reminded me of like Batman 1989, the Tim Burton one.
Oh yeah,
where there's like garbage in the streets everywhere. But like,
well, yeah, he does live in a shithole. He probably lives in the Narrows or something.
Like Gotham City looks very much similar to that, I think, but a more like realistic version. And like the whole like the Joker's like so much older than Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Because like in that movie, like Jack Napier is the one who shoots his parents, and he's like in his 20s, while Bruce is like a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
It was a very interesting movie, though.
Yeah, it's made me think about a lot of stuff. Like, I think everybody was talking about how like crazy and edgy it was.
Really?
But I've been thinking about it, and I don't think it's. I think when it comes to like edgy and dark comic book movies, the boundary has been pushed. And I'm not saying they shouldn't make edgy dark comic book movies. They should keep doing it. But like, I don't think people should continue to try to hype them up as like, wow, this is the first time anyone's ever done this before. Because like, the race for that is over. Like,
but they want to take it further though.
Like, even if they take it further, even if they make a movie where Superman and Batman team up and start eating babies, it's still like, oh, it's another dark comic book movie. It's not. It's not going to be the first one. Like, even if it is the edgiest comic book movie, it's not going to be the first edgy comic book movie. Is what I mean.
I think they're comparing it to Marvel movies because they play those ones. They play safe. DC just does whatever the fuck they want.
I don't know. I think Marvel movies. So going to the Marvel movies are stupid. And I mean,
I don't know if you ever seen Blade 1, 2, or 3.
Marvel Cinematic Universe movies are stupid. I haven't. I
don't know if you've seen Punisher 1, 2, or 3.
Those aren't in the cinematic universe. First of all,
oh, they fucking are. I can prove it too.
Those are the. Unless you're talking about the show.
Apparently, they kicked those out of the canon like partway through.
All right, so there you go. Anyway, so
which I think is bullshit.
So here's my thought. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, all the fucking shit is stupid and boring. Like, it's all like, oh man, look out. We gotta deal with like war criminals and like crimes against humanity. But it's like done in the most boring way. Like, in Captain America: Civil War, like I was excited when like the guy with the skull mask was going around like doing stuff. I was like, oh, finally, like a supervillain, and then he's like gone. It's like, like when they actually do have like the supervillains who are kind of cool, it's like great. But I think most Marvel villains that aren't in like the best Marvel villains, I think, are in X-Men and Spider-Man, and they don't really have access to those, and they haven't had access to those for a long ass time. So it just makes all the movies like I think the Marvel movies, they're trying to be edgy, but there's no weight to them. Is what I mean. Because like Iron Man 1 was all about like, oh, the weapons he's selling are going into the hands of like terrorists, and there's a lot of Al Qaeda imagery and all this stuff, and it's like, ooh, but it's like, I don't know. Didn't really like, it's trying to be edgy, but I don't feel like it's landing.
How do you feel about this new Batman coming out?
I don't.
You're not gonna see it?
I might see it, but I don't know anything about it. I haven't heard anything about it. Not really interested. If cool stuff comes out and it looks cool, I'll get interested. But
I'll tell you right now, watch it anyways.
Maybe. Really, the movie I'm still waiting for is Tim Burton's third Batman movie.
Is that ever happening though?
Never, but I'd like to see it.
You should write him a letter. You should make it.
Yo, Tim Burton, can I make your third Batman movie?
Just make it anyways. Don't ask him. Fuck it.
Yo, Tim, check this out. I made your third Batman movie. It's got Scarecrow. I kidnapped Michael Keaton and had him star as Batman again.
What you do is you make the third Tim Burton movie, but you don't attach your name to it at all. You just make it as if it was Tim Burton's movie. That he's fucked. He has to promote it. His name's on it.
Hey, yo, Tim, check this out. I love your movie.
I love your movie. Here's the only copy of it.
Yeah. Like, because, like, oh yeah, so anyway, going back to what I was saying earlier about, like, edgy comic book movies, like, I was watching a behind the scenes of, like, Batman and, like, the making of the 1989 one, and it, like, all the imagery they were showing of, like, building the sets of Gotham City and, like, how, like, it looks, it was just like, yeah, this kind of looks like what Joker was doing. And then it just kind of, like, hit me as, like, before the 1989 one, the only live-action Batman was, like, the 60s show. So everybody's thought was, like, oh, this is a cartoon character. He's goofy. Until they made the 1989 movie, and it's like, oh, he's dark. So, like, I feel like the switch has been flipped. I'm just going around in circles on this one point.
How do you feel about this Joker?
So I said this jokingly at first with my brother when we were coming out the theater, but I didn't think he was very funny.
Well, he's not supposed to be funny. He's a Joker.
But, yeah, but other Jokers tend to be actually funny. Like, Jack Nicholson was kind of funny in, like, a demented way, and
okay, so
Heath Ledger even had, like, funny moments. But I feel like there was, I guess, a couple moments that were pretty good, though.
I laughed at, like, that one stand-up that went up before him when he was talking about women think of sex like how they think about cars. Like, is this something I want to be in long term? Will it kill me? Men think about sex like they think about parking. I could pull in right here or over here. I laughed at that. I thought it was funny.
Okay. So that scene in particular was actually one of my favorite, like, Joker scenes, just because, like, the way Joaquin Phoenix was using his face, it kind of looked like how the comic book Joker looks. Mm-hmm. Where he has, like, that permanent, like, laugh, where he's, like, laughing at all the wrong jokes. Mm-hmm. Like, the wrong parts. I thought, visually, I thought Joaquin Phoenix was great as the Joker.
Do you think he was a good interpretation of the Joker?
Yeah.
I read somewhere that his laugh, because he did have a condition, allegedly.
Allegedly.
That I think Phoenix was talking about how his laugh is supposed to be painful.
Yeah.
Or almost painful.
Yeah. There was actually like an interview, I think, where somebody was saying like, where he was talking about how like people were asking him, or it wasn't an interview, but like it was some public event, and people were asking him on video or something like, "Hey, do the laugh," and he's like, "No," because like he didn't want to do it, like on the spot like that. And like seeing the movie, I think like he actually was like hurting himself when he laughed like that.
Well, I don't think it was supposed to be painful for him. I think it was supposed to be painful for the character.
Yeah. But like, just because like I've laughed pretty hard. I know what laughing's like. I've laughed before. I know what it's like.
Oh shit!
I've almost died laughing. It was really funny.
Oh my gosh!
It was like the unfunniest joke in the world, and I still laughed at it. It was crazy.
I was wondering how this movie would end because I knew that scene with him shooting De Niro would come up, and I was like, maybe we'll end there. But then he goes up to the camera, and then it like cuts to dead air. I'm like, maybe this is the end, and it like because then it pulls out on all those TVs.
Yeah.
But then it kept going, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm surprised by this. I didn't expect any of this to happen.
So I went into the movie blind, and like when he walks up to the stage and he's about to walk in, my first thought was like, oh, it's just gonna cut to credits here. Fuck this movie. But then he actually went on stage, and then they actually did the talk show segment, and I was like, holy fuck, this is cool. They actually showed stuff happening.
I saw a joke where Phoenix was on Jimmy Fallon. And it's like, why do you bring me onto this show, Jimmy? All that you do is just laugh at me. And then, because like Jimmy's face, like, I'll see if I can find that for you quick. It's really funny.
Okay. Alright, you know what? The one joke he tells, like, when I said I wanted to be a comedian, everybody laughed at me. Well, no one's laughing now. I know they didn't really come up with that joke, and that's like a classic joke from years ago from some other comedian. But that joke was pretty funny, so never mind, I take it back.
Here it is. I'm going to send you this photo.
I'm going to look at Jimmy Fallon photo. That's pretty good. Put that photo up on the podcast right here so everybody else can laugh along with it. It's pretty good.
It's really funny.
Also, only watch this pod. So, I kind of liked how like the Bruce Wayne actor was like very like non-emotive. Like, it was kind of it kind of came off as like a little like goofy though at the end, because like when his parents get murdered in the street, the kid looks up and it just looks like, because he's not emoting to it, it just looks like fucking again. Like
I never thought of that,
because like there's been so many scenes in every Batman movie where his parents get killed and it's just like he's bored of it.
Yeah, it was an alright movie. I'm gonna steal a lot of that color palette for a lot of my photoshops.
The orange and burgundy.
Well, that's just the uniform. It's like lighting and shit. I learned this thing where I can steal lighting from any photo and apply it to my own.
Yeah.
In post.
I mean,
so I'm gonna do that a lot with this movie. But I can add the colors.
Copyright, copylight.
Exactly. I'm gonna copy the lights.
Shit.
And then I will be the Joker of the photography world.
The Photography Society.
So what
did you think about the part where he actually says, like, out loud, like, what do you get when you cross a society?
Oh, I never connected that with a fucking meme, though. I just connected that with the story.
Yeah, so, like, I guess it's...
Because the whole point was everything's shit. That was the whole point of the movie.
Like, me and my brother were kind of, like, joking with each other going into it. It's like, hey, this is the We Live in a Society movie, ha ha ha. So when he actually said it, I was like, oh, fuck. But it was, like, also, like, really quick, so I didn't really catch what he was saying.
Yeah, well, also, he was being talked over, too, and the music was going pretty loud.
Like, I've seen people say, like, Robert De Niro was so mean to, like, Robert De Niro's character, Murray, was so mean to the Joker. But he's like, I feel like he was actually, like, incredibly nice to him. Like, he invited this guy onto his show to do his act, and, like, even when he's, like, kind of, like, just silently sitting there and being awkward, like, he's trying to save the bit and, like, keep the jokes going. Like, oh, you needed a thing for that. Like, a lot of people interpreted that as, like, wow, he's being mean to him, but I just saw that as, like, he's trying to save his bit. He's trying to save the Joker on stage.
But who's going to save him from the Joker?
Oh, shit. Batman needs to grow up fast.
I think that's what they fucking did for Gotham. It's like, look, kid, we know you're only like 16, but you got to be the Batman like right now.
Oh man, I never watched that show.
It's all right.
All I know is Gordon's doing his Gordoning, and the Penguin's a tall, thin guy.
Well, he's not tall.
Well, he's not short.
He does hobble though, but he doesn't get that limp until a little bit later in the show. It's like I don't even think it was in episode 1.
All right, so does Killer Croc show up in Gotham?
And
do they go Green Killer Croc or Goth Killer Croc?
If I remember correctly, I hope I'm not getting confused with anything else. I think he shows up in the last season. But he's like this, like something happened, and he had there was like I don't know, some sort of like biochemical waste that got to this guy, or I don't remember what happened to him. But if I remember right, I think he does show up.
Okay, but is he green or is he like pale?
Oh, I can't remember. The woman at the beginning, his social worker.
Yeah.
Is that the same woman at the end?
I don't think it was, because
I couldn't remember what she looked like.
I looked it up and like somebody pointed out they had like 2 different name tags, but I'm not exactly sure. Is it the same actress? I
think if we find out it's the same actress, because I don't remember what the big one at the beginning looked like.
I think they're different, because she looked older at the end.
But I was just stuck on that, like, oh, this is all in his head. Let me look it up quick.
I wasn't really paying attention. All I know is...
I looked up Joker, and then here's 3 articles. Ready?
Okay.
We should feel sorry for Jared Leto. His Joker never had a chance.
No, we shouldn't. Jared
Leto reportedly tried to sabotage Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
Oh.
Jared Leto is right to be pissed about the Joker situation.
Okay, so that second thing, second article, I never read that article, but when somebody said that out loud, that started to churn my mind over, like, what if all of these, like, media outlets, the reason why they've been talking so much shit about this movie is because, like, Jared Leto has been, like, working behind the scenes to try to get it canceled.
Whoa.
That's my conspiracy. That's my conspiracy libel for the day.
I'm not seeing a cast list really here. I might have to go to IMDb real quick.
IMDb, who played the social workers?
I don't remember her character name. That's the problem. Oh, okay. Sharon Washington was a social worker.
But who was the psychiatrist?
This looks like order of appearance. I'm not seeing that.
Okay, so
a lot of uncredited people in this movie.
Yeah, here's my thought. Here's my important thought. So did he, like, kill her at the end?
I think so.
And also, like, they were like chasing him back and forth, like Scooby-Doo style at the end. What the fuck was that?
It was just a good bit. I'm not seeing any credits about the woman at the end of the movie. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here.
Alright, so you know what?
But as far as I know, it's a different woman, if I'm following this at all.
Alright, we gotta remake Joker 2019.
Okay, we have 1 month to do it.
Okay, we gotta add... Oh yeah, that's right. We gotta add more jokes. And, like, cut out Little Bruce and replace him with, like, fully grown Batman. Like, he goes to Wayne Manor, and, like, the part where he's, like, sticking his fingers in his mouth, he's doing it to, like, Batman in full suit.
But he acts the exact same way in the movie.
Yeah.
So he just stands there when his parents get shot.
Yeah. It's like symbolism.
What does it mean? Batman is society.
What if the Joker was Batman the whole time?
My question is, why do villains like still commit crime in Gotham when they know Batman has been around and he kicks our ass every time? Not just super villains, like common criminals. Like, why the fuck do they bother?
Okay, so here's the
well, I'm just thinking you have to be so fucking desperate.
Okay, how many people in New Jersey know about the Jersey Devil?
Probably everyone in Jersey.
Okay.
So everyone in Gotham knows who fucking Batman is. He's in the papers every day.
You know what? I think that's just the result of the comics being going on for too long. Like, it's gone to such a point that it's become so iconic that it's like plausible deniability no longer exists.
It's just, this is the way it's supposed to be. There's always going to be crime, and there's always going to be someone that's going to try to stop them.
No, there's just always going to be a Batman. And no matter how many times they try to change who's under the mask, Bruce Wayne will eventually come back and take it back. Even when he's dead, even when his back is broken, even when, like, it's, like, 500 years in the future and, like, it's all cyber suits, Bruce Wayne will eventually put the mask back on again.
Well, I guess they kind of did that with Batman Beyond. Like, he's still Batman DNA.
In an alternate universe where Bruce Wayne was shot, Thomas Wayne still, like, out of all the people who could become Batman, it has to be a Wayne.
Has to be a Wayne. Wayne Gretzky.
Also, consider this. In that thing, the Joker was Martha Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean that in the modern continuity that Batman wants to fuck the Joker?
You're going to have to explain that again. What?
So in the alternate universe Flashpoint, when the Flash changes time or whatever,
yep.
Thomas Wayne becomes Batman and Martha Wayne becomes the Joker. So...
Well, I don't think he has any sexual desire for her anymore for two reasons.
Okay, but does that mean that before Arthur Fleck or Jack Napier or whoever the Joker really is became the Joker, did Batman want to fuck?
No.
What if there was a romantic relationship between the Joker and Batman before they became Batman and the Joker?
You find me that comic by DC Official, and I will give it my seal of approval.
There's a comic that...
by DC Official!
There's an official DC comic that gets posted around a lot where Alfred is the Joker.
Okay, yeah.
There's an official
that
DC...
doesn't mean
there's an official
he
DC
wants to fuck
comic.
Alfred.
There's an official DC comic where Batman is a pirate.
Yeah, I knew that. That was part of Dark Knight's Metal.
There's an official DC Batman comic. There's two DC. There's an entire line of official DC comics
Yeah.
Where Batman and Robin get turned into gorillas. And this isn't like a one-off thing. This happens multiple times.
Is this Detective Chimp you're talking about?
No, this was like
that's like Earth 53, the Earth that's not supposed to exist.
No, this is the 1960s like comics. Not even 60s, I think 50s.
What does that to do with Batman not wanting to fuck Joker?
Okay, this is what it's all about.
Alrighty.
You know how like I'm trying to think about this.
You didn't even have it.
Like fucking okay, so in the very first appearance of the Joker, like going all the way back to the beginning, after they fight the Joker appears to die, and then Batman's bummed out. And then in the next issue, it turns out the Joker didn't die, and then Batman's like, "We gotta get that Joker guy." And then Robin's like, "Why should we save him? Wouldn't it be better if he died?" And then Batman's like, "No, because he has a brilliant mind, and if I take him to a brain doctor, he'll become a great member of society."
Well, yeah, it's about redemption. It's not about wanting to rail him.
So that means that Batman is not a genius. Okay, I'm gonna have to apologize to you and to the listeners right now.
Thank you.
I
appreciate it.
I was in the middle of trying to sleep, but then
I said we would talk about this later.
He said, to be fair, he did say that. Like, to be double fair, this is all my own doing. Mm-hmm. This is all me, baby. I'm fucking this up for everybody. 100%. It's all my fault. But, yeah, so trailing off of that, the Joker and Batman have sex, the end.
That's never happened.
Okay, what about that one time when the Joker kissed Batman?
I don't remember that.
It was like, I think it was in The Long Halloween.
Alright, and then I'm going to bring this point back. Remember when Derek said he thinks kissing is sex, and Rocco's like, get sex with your mom?
Alright. But I think there's a difference between like a romantic kiss and like a just you know what?
Okay. Yeah.
Because like you wouldn't kiss your mom on the lips.
Here's a point I will concede. I think there's a Harley Quinn movie.
Yeah.
Where she has sex with Nightwing.
Okay.
I have to look into that. But this is what people have been saying.
Is it a metaphor for like Batman and the Joker?
No, it's a story for Harley Quinn having sex with Nightwing.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. But is it a metaphor?
That's all there is to it.
Symbolism.
The symbolism?
Dark brooding guy having sex with clown.
It's all a fucking joke.
Oh, shit. I thought this was a tragedy, but it's actually a comedy. Oh, shit.
That's a line from the movie Joker.
Yeah, that's what this podcast is about. This is the official Joker podcast. Buy our Joker merch. We have Joker t-shirts.
Do we?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just joking.
Gotcha. It's just a society, bro. Society prank.
All right, what's your final thoughts? Would you watch this movie again?
So initially I'd say yes, but actually after thinking about it, I feel like there's not much on rewatch.
I think I would watch it again in a couple of years because then I have if I was to actually like study it in terms of just as a film study, not because it has a lot to fucking say. in terms of
it's
the theme of society, but maybe to do with how like technical shit. Maybe
the one interesting thing I'd like to think that I did want to bring up is like, so in the movie, Thomas Wayne gets kind of like dragged through the mud because like
he does seem like an asshole, so I didn't really feel sympathy.
Like there's a lot of offhand comments, but like if you like read into like the subtext of what's being said around it, like all of the things going wrong that's like driving the Joker into the Joker world, like all of the society, all the things that are fucked up, like Thomas Wayne didn't cause those things. He's trying to fix them. Like that's why he's running for mayor in the movie, and like he's like it kind of cuts off in the background. You kind of see him on TV saying like, well, actually, these are the things I'm trying to fix. People are misunderstanding what I was saying. So like, in a way, the Joker is kind of like, he's a product of society, and he's also destroying the chances of society fixing itself. Like,
and he indirectly killed the Waynes, which is what he directly did in a previous movie.
Yeah, he's he's bad, and he's making everything worse.
I heard that this Joker will never meet Batman, but I am very curious to see how this would all unfold down the line.
I think that was because like I think what they were saying was that Batman wasn't going to show up at the end of this movie and fight the Joker.
Well, I saw that as this is a standalone movie and it will never have any other connections to anything else.
Yeah. I mean, like, oh, fuck. All right. So, do you know what the weirdest scene in the whole movie was? Okay. Actually, before I go on that, I'd like to also bring up, like, so the scene where he's on the imaginary date with the imaginary girlfriend, and, like, he sees the guy in the car and he just, like, smiles at him.
Yeah.
The way that's, like, blocked out kind of reminds me of the scene in Batman Returns where, like, he's, like, on a date with, like, Selena Kyle, and, like, they see, like, the newspaper of, like, oh, man, Batman and Catwoman and the Penguin, this is crazy. Gotham City's going nuts. What are we going to do? And it just kind of reminded me of that, where it's, like, they're both the people mentioned in the papers, but they don't realize that they're talking to the other person. While, like, with the Joker, like, he's on the date and he sees on the papers, like, oh, this clown going around shooting people? That's crazy. But it was him who did it.
I did like that smile he did towards that person in the cab, though.
Yeah, that was cool.
I was like, man, like when he's, like, reveling in everyone reacting to what he's done, it's crazy. It's like, whoa. This is where people maybe they don't take notice of him directly, but they take notice of him because of what he's done.
Yeah. Like, I did like the movie, but I feel like I wish it had more stuff like that. Like, I think it's not a very exciting movie. And
no, it was more interesting than anything.
Like, I feel like it could still be interesting and also still be exciting, because, like, I don't think it's, like, as a character study, it accomplished what it needed to do, but I feel like it also, for me, I think it's not a super deep movie, I think. Like, there's depth to it, but yeah, I would have liked more exciting Joker scenes. Like maybe more crazy stuff happens as a clown man.
What was the weirdest scene that you were talking about?
Oh yeah, so like halfway through the movie, I mean, we already talked about like the scene where like they go into like, is he Thomas Wayne's son? That like was like, holy shit, where is this going? I was like so excited. But the part that slowed down and just kind of like weirded me out for the whole movie was just like when it all like grinded to a halt and he started this Let's Play channel on YouTube.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You know, and the Joker was like doing Let's Plays.
Are you trying to promote yourself?
No. You know, like, and then he's just said like, yo, gamers rise up.
He's never done that. What the fuck?
Yeah, he did that.
Was this all a setup for a joke? I was wondering what you were going to talk about. I got a fucking joke.
Okay, real talk. The scene when, like, Batman was flying in the jet and then Arthur Fleck pulled out that big-ass gun and then shot it down the Batplane. Well, where do you get that gun?
Good night, everybody.
We're ending it there.
If you have nothing else to add.
You know what? Let's just end it where you said goodnight, everybody, because that's a really good ending.
No, I'm going to edit here.
Oh, fuck. Well...